What's going on, traders? It's your boy Matt, back at it again with another trading recap video of the $2,000 small account challenge that I started about a week and a day ago. And as you guys can see in today's trading session, I am up about $1,000, which is a really good thing because if you guys have seen yesterday's video, you would know that I was down $2,000. So I dug myself a $2,000 hole yesterday, and right now, slowly but surely, I have been trying to dig myself out of that hole, and it's working. And the way I have been going about that is, going back to the basics, going back to the roots, and doing the process that got my account from a $2,000 to $6,000. Right, rinse and repeat. I'm not trading something that looks good just because it looks good. What I've been doing is I've been focused on my trade, and I've been focused on cutting out stuff that is not working. So if a strategy or a play is not working, cut it out and focus on what has been working. Anyway, let's just jump right ahead and take a look at some of the trades that I took, and then you guys will be able to see the actual live footage of the trading and me explaining it. All right, so the first stock that we'll be looking at, because I took a lot of trades today. The first one we'll be looking at is VXRT. Now VXRT, what happened was, went higher. I was watching it. I had it on the side monitors, and I saw the first crack. I had a starter right there. And I cut it pretty quick right here because I'm thinking, okay, how far could this come? I knew on the level 2 it was supporting here, right? On here there was a lot of buy-ins, bid was stopping, stepping up to the plate. So I cut it for like $50 gain on this trade, and then I had to cut the rest of it right here. And then I waited for a second crack, and I got back in here. Now I should have held this one because this is a sign that it's going to be a backside. It went higher, but it couldn't really sustain this breakout after this level. So as you guys can see, that candle was a big smackdown, right? So I had an entry there. I was a little bit too late, and then I kind of took it as it was going down, which was okay. I gained about $20 or something like that. But I should have held. I should have held longer. The next one that I traded, the main stock that I traded today was SRNE, and a lot of people from the chat room, they traded this. Basically, what happened for this was I was watching a pre-market. The company, the fundamental were pretty bad in terms of the long side. There were more buys to the short side. So you guys will be able to see that in a minute when I'll explain it in the actual live trading footage. But as you guys can see here, I had a starter there. I took some profit. I took again, and I had another starter, and I took it there. So again, about from a SRNE, about maybe $250. The next one that I traded was SBE. Now this one looked pretty good pre-market. As you guys can see, it was up $15. I was really tempted to have a starter there, but I had told myself that I'm not going to trade pre-market, and once you make a decision, you just have to stick with it, and I missed out, and that's fine. I mean, this could have easily gone up, and I would have been like, thank God I didn't trade it, right? So yes, for that reason, I didn't trade it. I missed out, but out of the gate, I went for a pop. I had a starter, and I took profit as it went down, and I tried to short around this area using that as a risk, but it didn't work, so I had to cut it right there, and that was it. I didn't trade it after that. The next one we'll look at is PWL. All right, this one is an okay stock to trade. The reason why is because it was good both for the long side and short side. It had a clear support level, clear indication on the level 2s where they supported and are buying it, and where they bounce it from, and also clear resistance after this parabolic. You can see the momentum shifting. So I was having a starter here, and I covered at the bottom. I short the top, same level, and I cover the bottoms, and I short the top again, and I cover the bottom. So on this particular trade, I'm pretty sure I made about around $400, $500, which was okay because it was just pretty much rinse and repeat. It was doing the same thing. I was just looking at and reacting to what I see. As long as it kept coming out and giving out that great entry points and exit points, I was gonna, I was taking it. So the next one I tried to trade was MLHR. So I look for this crack. This felt like the backside, as you guys can see. It didn't actually go any higher than that. had a starter and I had to cut it there, unfortunately, when it came up, because this easily moves a dollar plus. And on that one, I'll probably up 12 bucks on it, so it covers the locates. KODK, I started a little bit, I made a little bit. The next one, let's have a look. So this thing went up. I had a little bit of starter there, made a tiny bit of money on it, and then I had a second entry there and made a little bit of money. I got out quick because by then I had already made the $1,000 that I wanted, and I didn't want to get into any headaches or anything like that. I didn't want to get greedy and get aggressive. So once you hit your your daily goal, what you got to do is you got to size down and protect those gains. Once you have achieved your goals, you got to size down and don't play aggressive and protect those gains. You don't want to give it back. I've done it so many times previously where I was up, 2-3 grand, and I give it back into the day. So to protect that myself from that, what I did was I implemented a rule which says once you're up and you hit your goals, what you're gonna do is you're gonna size down dramatically, right? You size down dramatically. You don't play aggressive, which is good. And the next one that I traded was EBON. Alright, so this one was the only long play that I traded on a day, and the only reason why I traded it long is because I didn't have locates for short, right? So I got in here, I waited for a support level of momentum. You guys will be able to see the live video, what I was looking for. I'll explain on that. But I got in here and got out here. I had a second entry here for a VWAP bounce. It didn't bounce properly, but I took it for a $50 gain. As you guys can see, I'm up about maybe 200 bucks on the name. Now, this one is the one stock that gave me a hard time today, which was CRDF. And it was a really great opportunity, if you stayed patient and waited for it. So I had a starter. As you guys can see, not a big loss. I mean, I had $66, 136, and then I was up 25. So I was up, down, up, down, up, down. So I was getting chopped. So what I did here, the one great thing that I did here is, you could stay patient. I mean, take a look at this guy, right? This guy right here is from Twitter. Basically, he traded this stock, I think, maybe last week, and he lost about $10,000 on it. And even a week later, to this day, he's giving it a try. He's hustling it, right? And for me, what I'm learning from this situation is if something is not working, something is not giving you something is giving you a hard time, then what you got to do is you got to cut it out completely. And this was giving me a hard time. I mean, this gave a really good backside, but I had already exhausted myself fighting this. I wasn't down massively on it because I was really tight with my risk level. The only big loss that I had on it was 136, and that's nothing. The rest is like, 10 bucks, 66, 20 bucks. So it's not much. It's less than 100 bucks, right? So what I did was I cut it all together, and then I focused on what was paying me. I traded what was paying me, and I focused on those stocks that were clear cut and good to play with. This one was a very tough one. As I said, they were stepping it up and was in the play. All right, the next one that I traded was BAND. This one here, same thing. It went parabolic. This one is actually a $160 stock. I only went in 50 shares because I didn't have enough buying power. But as you guys can see, I made about $130 out of it. So for 50 shares, that's about $2, almost $3 per shares profit into this move, which was pretty good. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe my videos if you have not already, and just enjoy the live video. Thanks, guys. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the live trading part of this video. As you guys can see, I am up $200 on a day, and I already locked in $125 gain. And as you guys can see, I'm holding 75 shares of SBE. I started with 300 shares, and I already locked in 225 worth of shares for profit. And as you guys can see, I'm going to close out of that position. I am out for a total profit of $153 locked in a day. As you guys can see, the other stock that I'm holding is SRNE. I am holding SRNE 300 shares currently, but I started out with 600 shares. So I got in 600 shares. I already taken off 300 shares, and I'm looking at, I'm zooming out here and trying to see how far I should hold this 300 shares, right? How much room does this have to drop? Are they going to let it drop, or are they going to support it here and drive it higher? As you guys also can see, I just got into SBE again, and I'm actually taking out that position quickly because I didn't like where I got in it, and I'm about to take it off. I'm holding 150 shares and I'm out for about $25 loss, right? That's fine. And I'm still holding SRNE. Now, a couple of things that are very, very important to note here is the reasons, right? The reason why SRNE went up today is because the company received an FDA clearance to proceed with phase 1 clinical trials. So yes, it's a good news, but it's not the holy grail. You know, it's not like it's a phase 3 completion or anything like that. So good news, but not the best. Now let's look at the company's fundamental. As you guys can see right here, the company's fundamental. The first thing that I want to focus at is the float. So the float is 213 million, which is a lot for a small company. The second thing that I want to focus at is the cash burn rate per month. As you guys can see, they go through $12 million every month. So that's kind of a lot because they have to spend a lot of study. The second thing is how much cash do they have on hand? And they have 24 million cash on hand. That means if they're burning 12 per month and they only have 24, they can only last 2 months without needing more cash. Now let's combine that with the fact that right here, if you guys can see here, they're saying here the only way they're funding the company is by dumping shares into the public, raising ATMs, and by debts, collecting debts. That's the only way they're funding. And also, if you guys pause it here and read it, they actually say they don't have any other product out there that is generating them money to be able to, you know, complete all of these studies that they're doing. So all of these things come to play. The next thing that I'll be focused at is if they actually currently can dump ATMs. And yes, they have active shelf registration. They can sell up to 75 million worth of shares to the public today if they want to. They also have hidden ATMs for $100 million worth of shares. So they can dump this today if they want to. So you combine with all of these, gives you a clearer picture. So those are the kind of things that I like to keep in mind when I'm taking a trade so that I can make an informed decisions in terms of my trading, whether to go long or short. As you guys can see here, I am in 150 shares short SBE using this level as a risk. I'm also holding SRNE, but SRNE is coming up at the moment. It's bouncing up. The trade is happening on a separate monitor. As you guys can see here, I took half for a quick profit because I didn't want it to come up all the way to my average. I'm holding on, and now and I'm watching this SBE. It doesn't look like it's bouncing, so I'm taking it off. I am out that quick. I don't let it go up on me, right? I took a little bit of loss on it, but that's fine. A $20 loss. That's the risk, right? Now I'm still holding SRID 150 shares. I am up almost $70 on those 150 shares. I'm just waiting. It dipped back below 10. Now this thing just came up on the scanner and I'm watching it. I want to have a starter short at this. The yearly chart is not so great, but it looks very extended on a 5-minute chart and a 1-minute chart. And it looks like the top is in, so I want to jump right here and have a little bit of starter here. SPE, I got back in again with 200 shares. As you guys can see, I am up almost $100 on those trades that I'm still holding. So I just have a starter here with XRT. Looks like the backside. I waited for that little bit of bounce to give me those 300 share starter. But I want to take this quickly when I have the profit. The reason why is because on a yearly chart, this 860 area is a support level. Right, that's the pre-market high. It could support here and go higher. So I want to take profit when it's on the table. I want to peel the profit off as it's given it to me, right? So I'm still holding the shares and watching. If I see any sign of supporting here, I would definitely get out of XRT. I'm just gonna fast forward here a little bit. So as you guys can see, I'm holding 150 shares of XRT, 150 shares of uh, SRNE, and 200 shares of SBE. So it looks like it's about to bounce VXRT, so I took half. So I'm holding 75 shares at the moment. It's bouncing up. I am out of the SBE position completely. Now, I don't like how XRT is bouncing up to the highs. So my risk level is that to the highs area. So I don't want it to go past me because then I don't know where it could go, right? The sky is the limit from there, from that point on. So that's my set risk level that I'm watching closely. But I'm also holding SRNE. SRNE is also supporting this area, so it's not really, breaking down and going to the low nines. It's holding, as you guys can see, it's holding the 980s area. So I'm keeping that in mind as well. But that trade is happening on a separate monitor. Now this thing popped on the scanner. I just, looked at it. Doesn't look interesting. Had it kept going up, it would have been interesting, but it didn't. So, but now I'm thinking about taking off. As you guys can see, XRT. It's on the separate monitor, but it went all the way up to 9, which is around my risk level, and I don't want to hold, any longer than I have to. So I'm holding both at the moment. Just trying to see. I am out of XRT. The reason why is because I'm up. I got up for a little bit of profit, but the reason why I stayed a little bit patient is because once it got to my risk level, I want to see how it reacts. Would it bounce and wash out, or would it go higher? And it looked like it was going to go higher. And I'm out of SRNE for a quick $200 profit. So on the day, I am locked in $221 profit. As you guys can see, SRNE actually coming up pretty strong. That $9 area was my risk level, and it's holding that. It's not touching it and washing out. That's what I want to see. But if it's holding that area, starts to consolidate at that area, it's highly likely it's just going to go like that. And as you guys can see, the volume is tremendous. I mean, they have 1.2 million per minute. That's a lot of volume going through. And this is a $9 price as well. So, all right. So the next trade right here is EBON, and I'm watching this. I want to short it. I want this to go higher so I can short it, but I'm trying to locate, and there is no locate. I couldn't find locate. So what you got to do in trading is you got to adopt and change to the circumstances that you're faced with. So if I cannot wait for it to go up so I can short, what I can do is go long, because I know the areas where not to go short. So that way, those are the areas that I'll be looking at to go long, right? So I'm looking at this, I'm sitting back and watching. I'm not sure, it's indecisive at the moment. The longs and shorts are fighting, but it looks like they want to drive this up into a halt. Yep, so they run it into a halt at 11:40. Now it's in a hold. I'm just gonna fast forward and see what happens when this gets unhalted. All right, here we go. It's about to get unhalted. Now it washed out, dropped. Now I'm looking at this where it's gonna support, or is it gonna go into a downside hold? What I'm looking for here is a fake downside hold for me to have a starter position, right? But this looks like it's holding up. I'm still not. It's still indecisive. I'm not sure what it's gonna do here. They decided to push it. It looks like that. Boom, into another circuit breaker hold, right? So they pushed it into a second hold. Now I'm gonna fast forward and let's see when it's unhalted. So it's unhalted. Now I'm definitely interested. People are looking at it in chat rooms. Now they're pushing it. Now I'm trying to get into this. I'm interested. So I'm looking for areas where it's gonna support. So downside hold, I'm watching the downside hold area, which as you guys can see is right here. It's pretty indecisive at this price right now, but I don't want to go up here because it's overextended. So I want to buy into something that's supporting. Right, this is indecisive, not good for long, not good for short. All right, boom. All right, it's going here into the downside hold, but they saved it from going into hold. So they're saving it from going into hold, and now I'm interested. I'm interested in this because I'm in, boom, just like that. So 44 my average, and I want to get out quick because this could turn back and go into a downside hold. I should have taken half here and see what it does with half, but I quickly took the $162 profits just like that. But let's keep watching and see what it did. It kept going higher. This is why you don't want to take out all at once, because you want to take out half a profit and set the rest for a break even. So I took my profit around $13 area. They pushed it all the way to $14.50. It got into a hold. Now it's unhalted. It looks like they're gonna drive this thing down into a downside hold. So now, if I had a short locates on this, this would be a very primal area for me to have a starter, because a lot of indecisiveness right at this level, and it looks very overextended. I mean, it came up from $7 to $14 in about, I mean, you can count these things with your fingers, how many minutes, right? How many candles there are. So it's pretty overextended. But this is not to say I wouldn't push higher, but this is where I would have gone into short, and I would have banked. But there were no locates available for me to short, so I missed out on that. But it's good to keep watching this so you can learn where those momentum shift areas happen, right? So that $15 area was, as you can see on those 2 minutes, it went up, it slammed on it like a wall, and there was a brick wall right there that's holding it, selling a lot amount of shares. That's what made it reverse the momentum and go into a downside hold. Now it opened out a downside hold, it's still going down, and I'm thinking it could potentially bounce from this VWAP area, because VWAP is usually people use it as a support level, so I'm trying to capitalize on that. I got in, I'm up 50 bucks on it, but it looks very heavy. It's not bouncing as quick as I want it to bounce. So I'm down on it right now, 50 bucks. So I'm thinking, this doesn't look like it wants to bounce at all. So as soon as it gives it to me, I have to take the profits, right? Trading is all about comfort level. If your comfort level is not there and you're not comfortable with the position that you're in, then get out quick. Don't let that thing balloon on you. You would rather miss out on a profit than risk a big loss. Right, so now I'm break even on those 300 shares. It's right on my average. I want this thing to give me a quick pop to the 1170 areas so I can get out. So I'm green on it again. As you guys can see, I'm not frantically trying to get out. I'm not panicking. I set my levels, and now I took it off because it's not touching me. I'm not frantically trying to chase down an exit or chase down an entry point. So I'm out half here, locked in a little bit of gains, and I'm staying patient for the 150 shares that I'm holding. I took it quickly. Now this puts me up $500 on a day, which is a good thing because yesterday I had a $2,000 loss, and this is me digging myself out of that hole. This is me chipping it out. Now this trade, I didn't get to record it, but as you guys can see, I have already entered that 1060 area for short, and then I added, now I'm taking in profits, I'm peeling it off, I'm holding 600 shares, I've already taken some shares out, and this is what I'm doing. This is my plan. My plan when I get into a trade is, okay, I have a set risk level, I have an area where I want to go in, which are resistant levels or momentum shifts, and then if the money is on the table as it is given it to me, I will take that thing, because if something supports and bounce back up, then I won't regret it. The way you grow a small account is by compounding those little gains. If you go for a home run, you're gonna get blown out. So you have to go for those, base hits every day, 200, 300 per trade, before you know it, this thing will add up and you're up decently on the day. So it's a very slow trade. There were a yearly resistant level around that 1060, 1080 up to 11 area, bag holders where previously it consolidated on the year. So I'm holding on, I'm looking at those areas and I'm thinking to myself, okay, if the price come up to that 1080, 1060 area, there'll be people selling. So I'll take advantage of that and short it with them, right? Which is working. Now this trade, I'm trying to get out all of my shares here. Dropped in a bit more. It's at $9.85 from pretty much around $11. As you guys can see, this puts me up $800 on the day, which is really, really good. My goal, my daily goals are always $1,000. Alright guys, so this one is the next trade. As you guys can see here, this is one of those trades where, you know, what it does, right, what it's doing right here is it's actually being woken up. This is what I call, you know, being woken up, and they're stair-stepping it up. So they pick it up, they drop it, they pick it up, they drop it, right? So as you can see, I tried a couple of times previously, and some of them I made, you know, $25, $60, but I also had 130 $36 loss on it, right? So this is choppy. I'm getting chopped. I make a little bit and I lose a little bit, right? So not a very comfortable trade. So I'm having a trial here for the last time, right? I'm trying to get in here. As you guys can see, I'm still up almost 900 bucks on the day from the last trade. So as you guys can see, I go in quickly. I get out because I know, well, this is not the backside. This is the front side. Right? I shouldn't be touching it, but if you're touching it, you gotta make sure, if you want to take advantage for those pullbacks and drops and you want to practice that, make sure you're quick with your hotkeys. So on that particular one, I just lost 20 bucks on it, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm just getting trapped up here, so I'm just gonna fast forward here. I saw that drop and I just got in quickly. As you guys can see, I'm a little bit too late for that starter position. Um, I'm up a little bit on it, down a little bit. And I'm taking it for quick small profits. These are, you know, $15, $20 profits that I'm collecting at the moment. I mean, yes, they do add up, but they're pretty much nothing. I mean, you give it back on the commission. But now I'm starting to think, okay, I'm getting chopped up on this, right? So what you got to do in terms of trading is that if there's a one stock that got all your attention, but it's not paying you out, you're getting chopped on it, you know, a lot of paper cuts, you know, $15 loss, $20 loss, $15 loss, $20 loss, or whatever. What you got to do is stop trading it. You would rather miss out on that opportunity and capitalize on other stocks because you're not executing this trade properly, and I am not. I've been fighting the front side, and it's you know, it's chopping me. As you guys can see here, $20, you know, 10 bucks, $130. So I'm losing a little bit on it. So what I decided to do is I decided, yes, there is an opportunity here, and if I, you know, had a good starter, I could have capitalized on it, but it's not paying me. So I'm gonna, you know, change my attention to something else. And I saw this thing that popped. As you guys can see here, I traded it previously at this point, and I covered it right here. But now it came to the same level. As you guys can see, I'm in again, and I'm taking profits right here as it's given it to me. So right now, I am not trading the other stock because it was chopping me. It was a lot of paper cuts. Why not focus on something that's actually paying me 100 to 100 bucks, right? So I'm just staying patient for this thing, and I want this thing to drop to that support level. As you guys can see here, uh, the trend generally is going up, so you can make money if you're a long trader on this. If there was no shorts available, I would have definitely long this thing. But there was no, I mean, there was shorts available, and I'm more comfortable shorting. So I am taking in the gains as I have them, and I am very, very close to my daily goal. As you guys can see here, about almost $1,000. I'm up $944. Okay, guys, just one thing I wanted to say as a side note is that I would really appreciate it if you guys share my videos, like my videos, and comment below it. So it would help me, it would help me put out more educational content for you guys. And also, it's kind of inspiring when I see people saying, yep, that strategy works, and thanks for this. And I also learn from you guys. I mean, I've had a lot of people commenting and tell me how I should improve and why I should do those things and why I should do those things. So I really appreciate the support. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to put out better content in the future. Thank you guys so much, and I appreciate it. Thank you.